Why hello there, coming at you live from our new studio here on Coron Beach. I bring you the absolute dumbest news channel on all of YouTube. That was today in Thailand. As the whole world struggles against this third wave of the pandemic, here in Thailand and especially Phuket, all of the bars are closed and you cannot order alcohol in any of the restaurants. However, there are some that are paying little bribes here and there to the local authorities and the police, getting away with selling alcohol. I know this for a fact because I was at one just the other day and the guys I was with were having some beers. I did not have one. Not because I didn't want to have one, but because I would be that guy that they would make an example out of. I would either get deported, which trust me, I don't want to be deported. I love it here. Or I would spend 14 years in a Thai jail. Now, I don't want to spend 14 years in a Thai prison. I don't want to spend 14 minutes in a Thai prison. So I did not have it. Although filmed on a Huawei Mate 20 Pro, this segment is in no way endorsed or sponsored by Huawei. If it were, we'd probably be filming with a Mate 50 Pro. So if you're watching Huawei, I'm still available. Let's get a weather update. So let's go to our man in the sands. What's the weather like, Mark? It's perfect. The Tourism Board of Thailand is currently looking at a one night $1 campaign to help the struggling economy here in Phuket, where hotel rooms that typically go anywhere from $40 to $120 a night are going to be available for one night if you stay 7 nights for $1. If you can believe that. They're going to let you have a hotel room for $1 just to draw people here to get them coming and staying once we have the reopening July the 1st. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, but I'd try it for $1, wouldn't you? As most of the media coverage here in Thailand centers on the current third wave of the pandemic, one thing that rarely ever gets discussed is the traffic situation and the amount of road deaths here in Thailand. So for a sobering exclusive That Was Today in Thailand special, let's go to our slightly sober reporter on the street and get the in-depth story.
One crazy and very scary fact about Thailand that you will never read in any of the glossy brochures is the actual amount of road accident deaths every year. There's about 15 or 16,000 people every year that die on the roads in Thailand on one of these things. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised I haven't died since I've been here 5 or 6 times, if not more. There are no rules on the roads. Yes, there's posted sign limits. Nobody adheres to the speed limits in this country. I'm typically double the speed limit. Anywhere I go, sometimes I'm even triple the speed limit. And these bikes, these are actually really powerful. I know people laugh, oh, they're a scooter. This thing will do 160 kilometers an hour. And when you're barreling down these roads and you have no leathers on, you have really basically no clothing on at all. Most people don't wear helmets. Most people are out riding around in just their hats. There's no protection. And again, these things are super fast. You also share the road with great big trucks that are usually overloaded, so they don't steer very well. Not only that, a lot of these bikes, they've been pounded into the ground, so they don't handle really well anymore. The brakes on them are not the greatest, and it's just a really dangerous situation. Also, the amount of drunk driving that happens here would absolutely blow your mind. I've seen people waving and wobbling on these things. I wonder how they're not completely crashing through stuff. It's beyond belief. You'll see people sitting at the side of the road drinking, and then they'll hop on their bike and just go. No wonder so many people here die. I'm really shocked it's not more people. So listen, if you do get the chance to come here or you go to any tropical island and you're blasting around on one of these things, please do it responsibly. The life you save could not only be yours, but it could be mine as well. Let's go back to the studio and see what we have for a sports report.
Well, in sporting news, we have a lot to talk about, and let's start right off the top about the Toronto Maple Leafs. Look, I'm a Capitals fan. I'm used to playoff humiliation, so deal with it, guys. Don't go burning the jerseys. That's just stupid. You pay good money for them. Keep them. There's always the hope next year that you actually might get out of the first round. It's likely not going to happen, but there's always the hope there. I'm not going to congratulate the Montreal Canadiens because I just can't stand them. However, I will say this much. The hit that Mark Scheifele put on Evans is just about one of the dirtiest hits I've seen since the Dale Hunter Pierre Turgeon hit years ago. I personally think that he should be out for the remainder of the playoffs, and if they go back to an 82-game season next year, he should be banned for the first 41 games. He should lose half a season. He intentionally tried to hurt him. It's disgusting, it's gutless, and I don't know if you watch YouTube, Mark Scheifele, but you are an absolute bag of shit for what you did. In baseball, my Yankees won, believe it or not. We're on a 2-game winning streak now, and we actually beat the Tampa Bay Rays, which is hard to believe because they've been kicking our ass for the past 2 years. Chapman looked good he actually didn't look great to begin. And then, you know what, he struck out a couple of people, looked pretty good there. In the NBA, well, the Knicks are done again. Go figure. Who would have believed that they would even make the playoffs? But at least they didn't get swept. The Dallas Mavericks look so amazing. Luka Doncic is just a beast. And sadly enough, Kawhi Leonard is looking pretty foolish for leaving Toronto now because, let's face it, he got bumped from the playoffs last year early, and he's on his way out again this year. Kawhi, you should have stayed in Toronto. You guys would have had a chance to repeat. I really think had he have stayed, they would have repeated. In NFL news, well, nobody knows what Aaron Rodgers is doing. I'm not sure if he's going to be hosting Jeopardy or if he's going to be throwing a pigskin. Nobody really knows. And at this point, to be honest with you, it's kind of like the Brett Favre saga from years ago. I don't think anybody really cares anymore, to be honest. So I do apologize for throwing that little bit in there. I should have thought better. Sorry. And that's all the sports that we have that's fit to report anyways. Oh, actually, hold on a minute. Montreal sucks. Production, sadly enough, has come to a grinding halt on my YouTube series, The Ultimate Guide to Thai Beers. I'm not sure why or how this is happening, but the props just keep disappearing. I just don't understand it. But I promise you, we will get to the bottom of what's going on and actually finish that series before the month is over. I will stop at nothing to find out where my props are going. And now back to the studio. And that, my friends, was this week's episode of That Was Today in Thailand. Check in next week when I add a new fitness and wellness segment. Hopefully I don't die filming those. I'm pretty sure there's a good chance I'm going to, but that might make for fantastic entertainment. I'll see you next week.